Ladies and gentlemen, here is another episode of the Not in Hall of Fame show. The show all about not in Hall of Fame because, well, that's the shit I run.
Yeah, we are, as I say, we are a very specific set of nerds.
We are Kirk Buchner, Evan Nolan, and here we are. It's been a while. We haven't done this in a month, and
Hmm.
usually we have a sort of like a set program, but
Hmm.
you've been away, I've been away. Like you were in Wisconsin, I was in Whistler, BC. They let me back in the United States, which is amazing. So,
Cool. That's good for you.
like, I don't know. I mean, I joke with some people, like with some of my relatives, like if I'm in El Salvador, like, remember me? I don't know.
Well,
Remember me?
yeah,
Remember
that's a that's
me?
movies Mexico, not El Salvador. So
I fucking don't know. But either way, I'm here. I'm here back in Seattle. You're back in Chicago. And we just want to talk about some people we lost.
we do, but before we do that, we should talk about stuff that deals with Seattle and Chicago that happened over the weekend.
Ichiro in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Dick Allen in the
Yep.
Baseball Hall of Fame from the White Sox.
Yep.
Yeah, so I know you didn't get to watch it. I watched all of the opening and actually watched all of the Hall of Famers come out.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so I watched that part, and then I had to take my kid to the swimming pool. So I didn't get to see any of the speeches live. I was actually planning on spending the afternoon getting stuff together for the United States Athletics Hall of Fame, as you can see behind
Oh,
me.
yep.
I've started writing all the things. We'll be recording the videos coming up of the 20 new nominees. There are like 30 who I didn't get to last year. Yeah, so I'll at least get those
Got
50 out.
this year. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll at least get those 50 out and see where we are from there. It looks like Joe Frazier is the one person I will never do a video for before he gets in. They're not the person I was expecting to get elected last year, but anyway. Um, but by the way, you should vote for us at www.theusahof.com. We have had a lot of traffic despite our month absence over the last month, which is really, really cool. We're hoping I don't think we have to hope. I think it's pretty clear we're going to break records for most votes for the people at the top.
I think
Um,
so.
there's some real numbers we want to get through in terms of that. But please vote. This Hall of Fame is entirely on you guys. But speaking of Hall of Fames that are not entirely on us, Baseball Hall of Fame, the seeing all the Hall of Famers is amazing. Sandy Koufax has been a Hall of Famer longer than any other player in the history of the United States.
That
He's
could be a record too, because like when did he get elected?
72,
Or so
53
72 would
years
have
ago.
been like under 40, no?
Yeah, he was 30. He's the youngest Hall of Famer in baseball history. I think he was 38 or 39.
Yeah.
He looks fantastic. Some of those guys who came out, I was like, oh my God, that person's looking old, right? But other people came out like Eddie Murray still looks exactly like Eddie Murray. Raleigh Fingers just has a silver mustache. Otherwise, looks exactly the same. Uh, like there are some people who did not look great. I'm not going to mention them, Tony La Russa. But there are others. He looked he looked a little bit rough. But yeah, some of the people out there. Fergie Jenkins is 82 and just looks awesome. Like totally with it. Doesn't have a hitch in his step whatsoever. It was just really cool to see all they
Canadian cocaine is good.
maybe, but
Yeah.
they had 55 living Hall of Famers there for the thing. And one of the things someone pointed out that now that CC Sabathia is in the Hall of Fame and Joe Mauer is in the Hall of Fame, right? Joe Mauer was born in 1981. He attended a Sandy Koufax attended his first Hall of Fame induction with a guy born in 1881.
What was that?
It's someone a name that I didn't know off the top of my head. I have it on a spreadsheet, but it was just like it was 100 years of people's birth dates that he has attended a ceremony with at this point as a Hall of Famer, which is absolutely nuts. But Koufax looks fantastic. But it was really good to see a bunch of those folks there. Everybody was the speeches were really, really good. I do have to say, Dick Allen's wife's was very heartfelt. Billy Wagner talked a lot about coaching how important that is. And I found from that, Billy Wagner, I know not your favorite Hall of Famer, but he's the first ever Division III baseball player to make the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And
Didn't know.
he's only left-handed because he broke his right arm playing touch football as a kid and wanted to play baseball, and they wouldn't let him throw with that arm. So he just learned to throw left-handed and eventually learned to throw 100 miles an hour, which is
Very impressive.
kind of crazy.
Yep.
But he led off. His speech was really, really good. It's a lot about coaching and things along those lines. And it was uh, Dave Parker's son, who finished with a poem that Dave wrote in case he ever got in the Hall of Fame. It wasn't there. Um, Part of it was like sex symbol, all these other things, but enough about these things about me. It's like one thing I wanted to say. I always said, if I ever got like the Hall of Fame, I wasn't going to show up, and I kept my promise,
That's great.
which
Okay.
was hilarious.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we had next up was Dick Allen's wife, followed by CC. CC talked a lot about the women in his life. CC looks fantastic, by the way. He is way skinnier now than he was at any point in his baseball career. It's like you remember when Joe Thomas got in the Pro Football Hall of Fame a few years ago?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like, what the heck happened to Joe Thomas? And his answer is that he just swims all the time. Also, probably not taking the metabolism, whatever things that you have to take as a football player. Um, CC looked amazing for that. So, and then Ichiro came up, and Ichiro talked the longest of anybody. But there are a couple of lines I really, really enjoyed. One of which was, no, I baseball was always about your teammates and working hard and all this other stuff. 3,000 hits, whatever. Those are numbers for the writers to get you a Hall of Fame. Well, except for one of the writers. And people laughed. He goes, by the way, my the invitation to that writer to come have dinner with at my house has now expired. So so that was really funny. He also talked about this is the third time in his career he's been a rookie. He's a rookie back in 92 in Japan, a rookie in 2001 in the US, and then a rookie in the Hall of Fame here. There's the three people he mentioned too. And he's like going back and seeing who was the first one? It was George, it was somebody, George Brett and Tony La Russa were the three Hall of Famers he called out, which was just like a weird combination of Hall of Famers. Um, but yeah, it was really, really good. If you have the opportunity to go back, honestly, just go online, Kirk, and watch if you could find it, just the Hall of Famers being announced. It's really freaking cool to see just
yeah.
the
I
Hall of
will.
Famers come out. And it was like I said, there are 55 living Hall of Famers there, plus now the three guys who join in, so 58. Um, yeah, so some of the ones who weren't there, I know there've been some talk that Juan Marichal, there's a rumor last week that he passed away. He did not as of yet, but Marichal was not there. But a good transition, I think, in what we're going to talk about. A
Yeah.
person here in Chicago who said that he planned to be at the Hall of Fame if at any chance possible, didn't make it, and then passed away yesterday. One of the nicest people, probably, like genuinely good person in baseball. Also, when I was a kid, they had those like Sport Flicks figurines. They had these little figurines you get on stands. I only have two of them. I have one for Larry Bird, and I have another one for Ryne Sandberg.
Well, I guess that's a good segue here. We usually we have different things that we're going to talk about, but today is mostly about
It's so many people passed away in the last month. We have to talk about.
yeah. Ryan, was it yesterday as we're recording
It
this?
was yesterday. Yeah, today's the 29th. It was the 28th.
Yeah.
So.
So like shortly after the Baseball Hall of Fame,
Mhm.
our good friend Dave Whitlock went. He goes annually to the Baseball Hall of Fame,
Mhm.
and just like following what he sort of like talks about, he kind of knew this is going to be the case. Uh, Sandberg is, in my opinion, and you're a Chicago guy now, but I'd say the second most important Cub behind Ernie Banks.
Hmm. That's he's definitely on the Chicago Cubs Mount Rushmore.
Mhm.
I know people are going to have things to say about Billy Williams, who was there and looked great, by the way. Ron Santo, people are going to have a lot of
But the
feelings
Hall of
about.
Fame, but the Mount Rushmore, like
Yeah, yeah, I'd say on Mount Rushmore. I'm just saying he may also be on the Mount Rushmore, at least in the conversation, Mount Rushmore on modern second baseman too for
absolutely.
Ryne Sandberg.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Strangely, it took him 3 times to get in. I still don't understand how it takes Ryne Sandberg 3 times. But then again, I don't understand how Dale Murphy's not in the Hall of Fame either. But what do I know?
No, fair, fair. Yeah, that's a good one.
Because baseball writers are weird. It took Joe DiMaggio 3 times to get in. Um, but yeah, Sandberg, born in 59, died a month to the day, by the way, after Dave Parker. Um, but he was a career 285 hitter, 282 home runs, 2,300 hits, over 1,000 RBI. Played one season with the Phillies, which nobody remembers, and then
Yeah,
was with the.
yeah. Best trade that Chicago ever got.
Yeah, I mean, let's see, what was that trade? Um, uh, he was traded for 1960s workhorse pitcher Larry Jackson, then age 35, and Bob Buell, age 37. for uh for uh for Ryne Sandberg. So um
Jackson was good, but still, but obviously it was a steal.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely a steal. Yeah, there but he was a manager for a couple years, about a decade ago at the Phillies, which I completely forgot about. But 10-time All-Star, the 84 MVP, straight Gold Gloves, 7 Silver Slugger awards, led the NL in home runs in 1990 as a second baseman.
Yeah, exactly. One of those rare five tool players that sometimes you use the word five tool players and it's exaggerated. It was
Hmm.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah, hard to argue. Yeah, Sandberg got less than 50% of the vote his first time on the ballot, which is nuts.
Yeah.
It was he and Eddie Murray came on together, and Murray got in fairly easily. Murray and Gary and the late Gary Carter. Then Sandberg was behind Futures Hall of Famers Bruce Sutter, Jim Rice, Andre Dawson, and then him. Next three people on that ballot, by the way, Lee Smith, Goose Gossage, Burt Blyleven, all in. Then
Mhm.
Steve Garvey. Jim Cott also looked really good when he was there. But yeah. Um, so then he lost out in 2004 to Eckersley and Molitor, and finally joined 2005 with Wade Boggs. But Sandberg, very important Cub. I mean, this was a tough few weeks for the 80s. And Sandberg, the 84 NL MVP, is
Very true.
yeah, going to be missed. I think it was 20 years to the day that he got elected or it got inducted in the Baseball Hall of Fame,
Mhm.
was when he passed away. So Godspeed, Rhino.
Yeah.
Um, so just, I know we have a lot to talk about. I just do have a couple other baseball people real quickly while we're here. First of all, guy who I loved as a kid, I loved his baseball card, former Toronto Blue Jay, longtime Toronto Blue Jay, original Toronto Blue Jay, Jim Clancy.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's a good
pa-
one.
Passed away at the age of 69.
Mhm.
Had 1,400 strikeouts his career. Earned run average just north of 4.2. Won 140 games in the majors. Was an all-star in 82 with the Blue Jays from 77 to 88. Astros from 89, 91, and then finished his career at the 91 Braves, who his last game, of course, was the Kirby Puckett situation. But he died of cancer at the age of 69.
Yeah, Clancy was one of those guys as a kid. For those who are watching this for the first time, like I'm a Canadian from Toronto in that area. Uh, it was all about Dave's team, obviously.
Right.
And I still remember this. The first two times I got to go see the Jays at Exhibition Stadium. Ah, shit, it's Jim Clancy.
It's kind of how you felt with the Red Sox in like 99 through 2003 when you didn't see Pedro.
Yeah, and both times,
No offense to Derek Lowe, but he was not Pedro Martinez.
yeah, and both
Jimmy.
times, and again, Jim, love you, brother. I really do. But both times, I still remember this. I remember this like it was yesterday. Some, I want to say older guy, but he was probably 20 years younger than we are now.
Hmm.
Just think like after Clancy sort of like a through a pitch and then somebody hit it for a double. It's like, oh, there goes Jim Clancy's no hitter. It was, but having said that, he was the number two guy for Toronto for a long time. And it's funny to me.
Mm,
Maybe it shouldn't be, but it is. And Godspeed, Jim. Like you were a big part of my childhood. As
yeah.
we're going to talk about that a lot in the next little while.
Yeah. Another all-star for 10 years previous to 82, Joe Coleman, one of the greatest pitchers out of Massachusetts. There's also some guy named Tom Glavine, who I think takes the cake. But Joe Coleman, who averaged 20 wins a year between he pitched 15 seasons, but had 20 wins a year basically for 3 years there with the Senators, Tigers, Cubs, Athletics, Blue Jays, Giants, and Pirates. Was at All-Star at 72 with the Tigers. Had 23 wins in 73, which is second highest in the American League. Yeah, had more 20 wins per season from 71 to 73, and was third in the American League in strikeouts in 71 with 236. Former son of former Major League pitcher Joe Coleman and father of Major League pitcher Casey Coleman. So the first three generation pitchers in Major League history. But Joe passed away at the age of 78. So he was pretty much, he's fairly well known still around Boston. Had a heck of a fastball. He was drafted third overall in the draft, but when as a kid, he went to Ted Williams baseball camp. And Williams saw it through the fastball and told him he needed another pitch and taught Coleman how to throw the curveball and gave him the aerodynamics on why it curved. So I think that probably did him pretty well. So 142 wins, 3.7 ERA, 1,700 strikeouts in his career. Godspeed to Joe Coleman. And one last baseball one I have to talk about. The father of maybe the greatest rant in the history of baseball, Lee Elia, passed away at the age of 87. Um, when he was the manager for the Cubs in maybe it was 82 or 83, they started like 9-14 and the media was on him, and he went on I believe it is a 37 expletive rant over the course of 2 minutes, ripping the fans who are booing his team. He's like, "We play games during the day. Who's available for day games? Losers, that's who." And just kept going off on the fans and everything. The Cubs did not turn around everything. Of course, the 84 Cubs had a pretty good season. But Lee Elia played with the White Sox and Cubs as a player, but better known as a coach. Managed the Cubs, managed the Phillies, coach of the Phillies, Yankees, Mariners, Blue Jays, Devil Rays, Orioles, and Mariners. Was part of the 1980 coaching staff, the 1980 Phillies that won the World Series. But yeah, Lee Elia passed away at the age of 87.
Okay.
Uh,
What other sports are we looking at?
well, here's an interesting one we've never talked about before. Mary Shields passed away, who
Who's
is
that?
the first woman ever to compete in the Iditarod.
Oh, okay.
She was 80 years old, so she competed for the first time, which the Iditarod takes place between Anchorage and Nome, Alaska. She competed in 1974. So she was originally from Wisconsin, fell in love with it on a trip there in 65, ended up moving there. So, but yeah, so first ever woman passed, run the Iditarod, passed away at the age of 80. Probably 80. It could have been 81. They weren't sure of her birth date.
Hmm.
Um, so, uh, from hockey, oh, sorry, one more baseball player I should have brought up. I apologize. Bobby Jenks passed away.
Hmm.
Another Chicago guy, also a Boston guy. Was on the mound for the final out of the White Sox championship in 2005. They just had the White Sox all got together over 4th of July weekend for the 20th anniversary of the championship, and Jenks died the day they all met on the 4th. Only 16-20 his career, 173 saves, uh, two-time All-Star, pitched from '05 through 2011, but a heck of a player and very, very important here in Chicago history. Passed away at only the age of 44. So
Mhm.
not so great. But he had a highly aggressive form of stomach cancer. So
Mm.
from hockey, Lyndon Byers passed away. Uh,
Oh,
Not Celtics, Bruins enforcer.
yeah,
Played
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Had seasons with the Bruins and the Sharks. Um, was a commentator for the Bruins for years afterwards. Played 279 games, had 28 goals, so that's a goal basically every 10 games. Had 43 assists for 71 points, but had 1,081 penalty minutes in his career.
Yeah, yeah, one of the tough guys of that era. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, absolutely. But he passed away at the age of 61, born in Nipawin, Saskatchewan, which I'm sure you've been to many times.
Zero. Zero. I have been to Saskatchewan, but not there. But yeah.
Not there. Well, the
Yep.
bigger name from hockey we have to talk about, one of the biggest names in hockey, uh, Alex Delvecchio passed away at the age of 93.
Yeah, I did not realize he was still alive.
I didn't either, honestly.
Yeah.
Another guy. He was elected to the Pro Hockey Hall of Fame in 1977,
Mhm.
and he had a 22-year career.
Yeah,
Um,
probably with Detroit. Yeah, really good, like a two-way player. Yeah, it was one of those things like how did I don't know that he was still alive at that point?
yeah.
Hmm.
But a three-time winner of the Lady Byng,
Mhm.
1,549 games, 1,281 points. At the time he retired, he was second in NHL history in games played, assists, and points. Some guy he played with, I think, was ahead of him in most of those categories.
Yeah, Horty Gow is his
Horty Gow, that is correct.
Horty Gow, if you want to sort of like do that
Yeah.
phonetically. Yes.
And one of the crazy things is right after he retired in 73, he was immediately named head coach of the Red Wings. And then the next year is named general manager as well. So he was general manager and head coach until 77. And in 2017, named one of the 100 greatest AHL players in history. Also, the last surviving member of the 52, 54, and 55 Stanley Cup teams for the Red Wings, which is not that surprising.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, clearly one of the greatest players in history. Is number 10 is one of the six numbers retired by the Red Wings. The Red Wings have a pretty amazing history to have. If you have one of the six numbers retired by the Red Wings, you've done something correctly. I guess no, there've got to be more than six
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
There's got to be a seventh that I'm not seeing in the picture. Because Lidstrom's is retired, right? It's got to be.
I believe so. I could be wrong.
Yeah. So it's Yzerman, Sawchuk, Delvecchio, Lindsay, Abel, and Howe. And I'm pretty sure that I'm 97% sure that Lidstrom's is retired as well. So yeah, he passed away at his home in Rochester, Michigan at the age of 93. So Godspeed to Alex Delvecchio.
Mhm.
From horse racing, another huge name that passed away since we last met, Dwayne Lukas passed away at the age of 89. He and Bob Baffert have got to be the two icons of training who exist in horse racing at this point. Um, he 739 wins in quarter horse racing for his horses, 4,953 for thoroughbred racing. What four-time winner? His horses won the Kentucky Derby four times, the Preakness seven times, the Belmont four times. Um, but I mean, there's almost nothing in horse race hasn't done. It's the United States Racing Hall of Fame, the Quarter Horse Hall of Fame, he four-time Outstanding Trainer of the Year award. Um, I mean, yeah, he had 23 world champion quarter horses during his career. I don't even know what else to say about him. Just winning colors is probably one of the biggest ones that you'd remember. Thunder Gulch. Um, Yeah, so I'm looking at these. Not all these are ones I necessarily know off the top of my head, but those are ones I remember pretty quickly. So, anything to say about Dwayne Lucas?
No,
Okay. Anyway, horse racing legend. Somebody we should probably look at, by the way, for contributors. Um,
absolutely yes.
yeah, Dwayne Lucas and Bob Baffert are both people we should probably have on the contributors list going forward. From basketball, Frank Layden passed away. Legendary coach of the Utah Jazz, NBA coach and executive of the year in 1984. Um, Coached at Niagara, and he also was the original coach of the Utah Stars. But losing record in his career, 277 and 294. But one of the legendary figures, particularly the early era of Utah basketball.
Yep.
So he was 93 years old. Um, okay, sorry. All right, from uh, football. From football, I'd say the biggest name we lost was Louis Sharpe, offensive tackle for
Mhm.
the St. Louis and Arizona Cardinals. Played 189 games, started all 189 of them,
Yep.
which is pretty impressive as an offensive lineman. Born in Cuba, was a three-time Pro Bowler from 87 to 89, two-time second team All Pro. Um, yeah, just one of the I mean, it's that was a tough era in Cardinals football, largely.
So true, yeah. And
Uh,
to be there his entire career.
yeah, he was there his entire career,
Yep.
going through everything having to do with it. But yeah, absolutely he's never gonna make the Hall of Fame, but he was a very good player for a very long time.
Yep.
Sharp passed away at the age of 65. Um, where do you want to go next? Do you want to talk some actors? You want to go to singing next?
Actor.
And let's start actors then. Michael Madsen
Yeah.
passed away at the age of 67.
Fuck. Reservoir Dogs, man.
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs, Kill
And,
Bill.
Kill Bill, he is also awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Just one of those people who Tarantino just sort of like said, like, hold back. And it
Yeah.
worked both times. Man. After he passed away, I'll tell you, I watched Reservoir Dogs again.
Hmm.
Just absolutely enjoyed it. Love you, Michael. I don't know what more to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. His speech about she deserves her vengeance and we deserve to die from Kill Bill is very, very poignant. It's like a whole it changes the whole tenor of that whole
Yeah.
set of two movies.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Um, so absolutely. I mean, again, not a guy I'm shocked didn't make it to, 80. But just I can't think of anything he did that I did not enjoy him in. Let's put it that way.
Yes, he's my this generation Brian Dennehy.
Absolutely. That's a really good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely Brian Dennehy for like 20 years younger.
Yeah.
Absolutely a very good call on where he was in the
Every now and then I have one.
well, just the one. Don't get too far over your skis here.
Every now and then.
But Michael Madsen was 67.
Yep.
Also passing away, someone who's much more important to my wife than it was to me, but Julian McMahon passed away at age of 56 from Home and Away, Profiler, Charmed, Nick Tuck. It was Doctor Doom in the original Fantastic Four trilogy. Um,
Mhm.
he passed away at the age of 56. Uh, so they still don't
What did
know
your
what
wife
happened.
like most about Julian, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm, I'm not sure. I mean, she was knew him from different things and probably Charmed.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not a
I'm
show
just
that I
curious, yeah.
watched that much,
Yep.
so I didn't really have that much of a feel for it. So,
Okay.
um, also passing away, drowning, as a matter of fact, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, drowned
Oh,
off the
yeah.
coast of Costa Rica at the age of 54.
Yeah, that one hurt a lot. So 54, I'm 52. So like
Hmm.
when we were watching at the time Cosby Show,
Hmm.
so like his character arc on that show didn't feel all that different from my own life.
I get it.
Yeah. So
I brought you into this world. I could take you out of it.
yeah, yes. Yeah, totally. And my brother and I were talking about that 2 nights ago because I knew this was going to come up. And he was more impressed how he just kept working and was this successful after that show, which again is so incredible because if you look at the other kids,
Hmm.
from that, uh, look at what Malcolm did. Like
Yeah. I
right
mean,
after, like Malcolm and Eddie.
yeah,
Uh,
I was gonna say he headlined his own show after that. None of the rest of them did.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So like for him to
And then he was in The Resident as well as and also in Suits
in Suits, my as my brother was saying, Jericho,
and
'cause,
Jericho. Yep, Jericho's another one.
yeah, which is a big thing that he liked. So like for him to sort of have done like as a superstar teen actor and escape that,
Hmm.
it's fucking incredible what he did. It really is. And in some ways, it hit me harder than some of the ones we're going to talk about later.
I get it. I mean, when Aaliyah died
Yeah.
back in 2001, Aaliyah is was like 10 days younger than me. We're born the exact same month.
Mm.
And I was just like one of those ones, like, I mean, I was only, 22 years old when she died. But I was just like, holy crap, that's someone who I've known since she was like not famous and then gone all the way through. This is a much longer time period with Malcolm-Jamal Warner. And it's not someone you expected to pass at this point. I mean, you certainly didn't expect Bill to outlive him.
Yeah. And just doing that in his own, like just being with his family. Like I feel bad for his family.
Yeah, it's the whole thing stinks.
Yeah.
Uh, he also was in People versus O.J. Simpson as Al Cowlings. Don't forget that part.
Was. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and did a great job there.
He did. That actually is a underrated series.
Yeah. And he's
So
in my favorite TV show of all time, Community.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
like
only 54 years old. So
yeah, for him to pass, it's just
yeah, Godspeed.
disgusting, right?
Also passing away. Kenneth Cawley passed away. Admiral Piet from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the
Hmm.
Jedi. Also Jesus in Monty Python's Life of Brian. Um,
Okay, I didn't know that.
yeah, but he passed away at the age of 87. He was also in a whole bunch of other stuff. You're like, oh look, there he is in Brassed Off, and a whole bunch of the Jabberwocky, another great one I loved. But he was also his last thing he was ever in was as Peaky Blinders. He's actually in the Lego Star Wars movie as well as Admiral Piet. He came back, but yeah, he was 87 years old. Um, Also passing away, Don Zimmerman, incredible film editor, did all sorts of stuff, but I think of him mostly for uh, Rocky 3, among other things. But he's a film editor. He won for Rocky 3. He also did Rocky 4, Cobra, Over the Top, Prince of Tides, all sorts of stuff. Multiple time winner of Oscars. Also, his last one was Bill and Ted Face the Music, but he passed away at the age of 81. Yeah. Hey, you got to go. Everyone's got to go out on something, man. Um,
Yeah,
so
well, yeah, it's a lot of hit and miss there, but
a
anyway.
lot of hit and miss. It was
Yeah,
just an interesting career.
yeah,
Um, okay. From boxing, I did miss this. Dwight Braxton, former world champion in both light heavyweight and cruiserweight. He passed away at the age of 72. He changed his name to Dwight Muhammad Kawi.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I remember him a lot.
Yep. Member of the International Boxing Hall of Fame. also born on January 5th, just like me. But he passed away at the age of 72 he had dementia the final 5 years of his life. So,
Brutal.
yeah. He spent a lot of time out, by the way, after retiring, working at the Lighthouse, the drug and alcohol rehab center in Mays Landing, New Jersey.
Hmm.
So good for him. 41 and 11 in his career, 25 wins by knockout, 16 by decision. Only knocked out twice in his career. By the way, one last thing. I did miss two other football players. I had my thing in the wrong order. Gary Chone, remember two great Cups with the Montreal Alouettes, passed away age of 73. And a player who I remember from not too long ago, Brian Bremen of the first Eagles team to win the Super Bowl 52 against the Patriots. More importantly, during the playoffs, he blocked a punt. Um, against the Atlanta Falcons in the divisional round that helped them win that game 15-10. But he passed away at only the age of 38
Uh,
from cancer. So I still remember that blocked punt. I remember watching that directly. I didn't remember he was one who did it. But another Hall of Famer, by the way, this time NASCAR. Rex White passed away. Uh, One of the great drivers of all time. He was 95.
hmm.
Won the 1960 NASCAR's Most Popular Driver Award. Member of named one of NASCAR's greatest 50 drivers in '98. Member NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2015. I think he's the second class. Number one of the 75 greatest drivers back in 2023. First race was 1956. Last race was 1964. So he didn't run that many, 233 races over 9 years. But he finished number one, won the NASCAR series in 1960. 63 top tens in 233 races is pretty darn good. So, yeah, White, as I said, was uh, he was the oldest living champion when he was elected NASCAR Hall of Fame at the age of 85 and held it until he just passed away at the age of 95. So, Godspeed, Rex White. All right, let's get into we did boxing. Let's do wrestling. I'm going to leave this to you. What do you have to say about Terry Jean Bollea?
Okay. So for me, Hulk Hogan was an icon. Hulk Hogan was also not an icon
Hmm.
in many ways. So I don't always talk about my personal life. Don't want to.
Hmm.
But in my tween and teen years, didn't have a lot. I didn't. But pro wrestling was everything to me.
Hmm.
Uh, Hulk Hogan was what got me there. It wasn't the person I liked. I was a Roddy Piper guy.
Okay.
Ultimate Warrior. I remember going to WrestleMania 6 at Toronto Sky Dome, just being so happy that Warrior beat Hogan. But what I can't not say is that Hogan got me there.
Hmm.
And Triple H on SmackDown and Raw and the thing, the what do I call it? Just the promotions for that said that he was the reason that we're all here.
Hmm.
Was he absolutely was.
Hmm.
Hogan did so much in terms of being that over the top character. He was the headliner of multiple WrestleManias. And then when he became a bad guy in WCW in the 90s, it was that big too.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan was the biggest star in a sport in the 80s or sport, whatever industry in the 80s and the 90s. How many people can say that? Tom Cruise? Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan was that guy. Saying that, Hulk Hogan's passing didn't hit it hit me for my youth, but didn't hit me because oh my god, my hero was gone.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't my hero anymore. And I'll sort of like put that a bit to you. You went to school with Kofi Kingston.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep. Kofi and Biggie and Xavier Woods of the New Day
Mm-hmm.
were very upset with Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously so, because Hulk Hogan 10 years ago, or 10 and a half years ago, whatever it is, said something awful,
Mm-hmm.
which was, God, I'm trying to put this here great here. I can't. Hulk basically said that he was very upset that his daughter was involved with a black man.
Just using a
Who,
different word for the black man.
hmm?
Using a different word for the black man,
Yes,
correct?
he did. Yes, he did. Yeah. Multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple times. And let's just be blunt. If you have a problem with your kid being with someone of a different color,
Mm-hmm.
using that language, you're
Mm-hmm.
fucking racist.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way to say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I won't say that it broke me because it didn't break me because I was a Hulkamaniac.
Right.
But for my best friend, Dave, how you doing, buddy? Who is black, who is Jamaican Canadian, it did for him.
I get it.
Yeah. And to a point, he just said, like, I knew it. But it's just one of those things where you can't escape that. It's what I like to call obituary moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was. So is Hulk Hogan the most important wrestler in my lifetime? Yeah.
I don't think there's
Hulk
any
Hogan,
real question about that.
the like a big massive racist in my lifetime. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Was he a good guy? From what I understand from people who knew him, yeah. But it's complicated. And he did
Mm-hmm.
this to himself.
He did.
Yeah.
Um, I'll say I was listening to Bill Simmons's podcast. We had Drew, I think his last name is Cunningham, who's
Mhm.
a who's done did a bunch of documentaries and stories on Hogan and what a complicated character he was. Every time they heard a story from him, they go back, they hear the story again, and it was a completely different story.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
but
yeah, before you do that, it's just like something I wouldn't have you and then Chris on a show and just play the game. Hey, here's a Hulk Hogan story. Why is it wrong?
that'd be good. But Hogan, they had a whole debate over who was most responsible for the growth of WWE. Was it Hogan? Was it McMahon? Or was it just cable television becoming available across the country? And they came up with essentially the answer that it was all three. But if Hogan had, who was the guy before Hogan for WWE who had been champion for 4 years? His act had gotten stale. Can't remember his
Bob
name.
Backlund?
Bob Backlund. Thank
Yeah.
you. That even if McMahon and Cable were still there, Backlund wouldn't have caught the
No,
fervor,
no,
the
not at all.
nationalist fervor of the country the way Hogan did.
No, no, not even close. Because like again, even before he got to or came back to the WWF, Rocky 3
Mm.
His
Oh yeah,
performance in Rocky 3 was incredible.
yeah. He has what 6 or 7 minutes in that movie, but he completely carries it. Completely carries it.
Absolutely. And what people don't remember is when he came back to WF, he was coming to the ring with Eye of the Tiger.
Right.
Yeah. Like him, Mr. T. It was so amazing.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, what he did at that point in time was incredible. What he was as a person, I'm trying to remember which podcaster said this. Uh, Hulk Hogan is amazing. Terry Bollea,
Got it. Yeah.
and that's kind of where we are here with that. Some of the shitty things that he thought that he said, and you don't have to kind of like come here and like watch that. Like you've already, and if you don't want to, just go ahead. It's just how he described black people
Yeah.
as one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard.
I think we're gonna go around a circle here. So I just want to finish up talk about Hulk Hogan in the way that Andre the Giant would have wanted us to. When Andre said, "I don't like to speak badly of people. I've grown up thinking being told if you cannot say something nice about someone, you shouldn't say anything at all. But I must break that rule in this case, because I hate Hulk Hogan very much. He's a big ugly goon, and I want to squash his face."
Is that real?
The research in progress for Snopes. I've seen it several times. But yeah, so uh Hogan, it was part of a promo probably. But yeah, Hogan was a complicated man. Um
Right. And your friend Kofi
yeah,
was one of the people who called him out on that. And
got it.
I think when all that happened, and then he came back to the WWE and just Triple H sort of like arranged this big brouhaha, bringing him,
Mhm.
and he said like, "Hey, brother, you got to remember, you can't always remember. You always have to remember like who's watching you."
Mhm.
It's not exactly saying that. Oh, by the way, I was racist and I'm wrong.
Yeah. So
And Kofi called him out on that. Big E, a whole lot of other
yeah,
people did.
I get it. I,
And
I do want to move on. I do want to say one thing though that someone pointed out to me.
sorry, like,
No, it's fine, but it's amazing to me that Ric Flair is the last of those guys left from the 80s.
isn't it?
It's insane that Ric Flair is the guy left.
Ric Flair is the Keith Richards of wrestling.
And with all that even outside of wrestling that Ric
Yeah,
Flair has been through, the fact that he's still here, I mean, and McMahon's still here too, and McMahon's out of WWE
yeah, but
permanently for other reasons, but like,
Vince did a lot of roids. Vince did not sort of like do a, but
right.
go on. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But like, it's amazing to me. They're all gone pretty much, except for Ric Flair. It's kind of nuts. And as they pointed out on that podcast, all the guys from the 80s are dead, and all the guys from the 90s are somehow still wrestling. So I don't know how that's working. So, but anyway, all right. We're switching gears quickly again. One sport I didn't do was golf. So just a few people for golf. Six-time winner on the LPGA Tour, Joanne Prentice, passed away at the age of 92. Amateur golfer. Winner of the women's amateur title multiple times, particularly team side, Barbara McIntyre. She passed away at the age of 90. Um, Former golfer, 12 wins on the Champions Tour. One of the great Champions players, honestly. Not as good before then. Jim Dent. He passed away at the age of 85. And finally, Ed Fiore, who passed away at the age of 72, won 7 times on the PGA Tour, including finishing. He finished sixth actually once to the Masters, which is his biggest thing for there. Just want to make sure we got through golf before we went to music because music is a ridiculous list this week. And I'm going to start with one that kind of went under the radar because of the day he died. But George Coymans died at the age of 77. You're like, who the heck is George Coymans? He's the guy who wrote Twilight Zone for Golden Earring. Um, he passed away from complications of ALS. Pretty much one of the, I mean, he wrote When the Lady Smiles, he wrote Radar Love, he wrote Twilight Zone, all while being the main guitar player for Golden Earring, who is a band who is huge, from what I understand, in Holland, much bigger than it's here. They had just a few hits over here, but
Two big ones, Radar Love and Gold and Twilight Zone.
yeah. So and their Twilight Zone actually hit #1 on the top album tracks chart. So, but he passed away from complications of Lou Gehrig's disease
Mm.
uh, at the age of 77. Also passing away, the King, maybe better known these days for his recurring role on King of the Hill, but Chuck Mangione passed away at the age of 84.
Okay,
Uh,
can I admit something? This is going to
Man,
sound awful. I thought that was like a fake character.
I get
Yeah,
it.
like on King of the Hill. Like I did not know that that was real. And
Yeah, so
yeah,
yeah, go ahead, keep
go
going.
ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, I understand that he is not somebody you necessarily think of because you're probably not that big into flugelhorn jazz fusion music,
I'm
or
not. No, no, I had no idea that that was a real person.
yeah, but he has a huge Wikipedia article, just so you know. But he made it to be a great grandfather. But when he started playing, his brother was a pianist. His brother's name was Gap, by the way, Gaspar, but he went by Gap. Um, well, actually, Gap's still alive. Gap's 86, so he's older than Chuck. But the two of them started playing together in high school and ended up going from their band in high school to playing sessions with Dizzy Gillespie and Miles Davis
Who were
while,
they?
while still in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, tons and tons and tons of recordings for them over career. His first album came out in 1960. His last album came out in the 2020s. An incredible career for the late great Chuck Mangione, probably the greatest flugelhorn player in American history. Passed away at the age of 84. Um, also passed away Billy Earhart at the age of 71, won the Grammy Award for Best Country Vocal Performance back in 1970. This is the 19th one, whatever it was, for The End Is Not in Sight, the cowboy tune. Played piano for Hank Williams Jr. for more than 20 years. Played with Al Green, Waylon Jennings, B.B. King, and others, over 200 albums in his career. Billy Earhart passed away at the age of 71. Also passing away, uh, Mark Green passed away from the band uh, Ray Goodman and Brown, who were big R&B band back in the 70s. He passed away at the age of 74. Also passing away, violinist and keyboard player Simon House of the space rock band Hawkwind.
Oh,
Uh,
Auckland.
Yep, he was seven. He also played with High Tide and the Third Ear Band. He was 76 years old. He played on, yeah, Hawkwind had more albums than I realized. They released 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 albums from Hawkwind, believe it or not.
Mhm.
Also played on 4 David Bowie albums. Also with David Sylvain, Thomas Dolby, Mike Oldfield, um, folks like that. But yeah, he was passed away at the age of 76. Jazz drummer Al Foster, another one of those guys played with everyone, toured with Herbie Hancock, Sonny Rollins, Joe Henderson, folks like that. He passed away at the age of 82. Arthur Hamilton, the songwriter who wrote Cry Me a River, uh, back from the 1953 #1 hit. He passed away at the age of 98, which
Mm.
is crazy. But he did, again, you look at the people he recorded for all the way back, Johnny Mandel, like we're talking people from the 50s. Um, yeah, he was 98 years old. James Lowe of the Electric Prunes also worked with Todd Rundgren and the band Sparks. He passed away at the age of 82. Kenny Marco from Grant Smith and the Power, Motherlode, and Dr. Music, also a one-time member of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. He passed away, a Canadian from Brantford, Ontario. He passed away at the age of 78. Sherry Bryce, country music artist, who did 1971's number 8 hit "Take My Hand," passed away also at the age of 78. There's a bunch of them here. Dave Cousins, the singer and songwriter of Straubs. You remember
Mm,
Straubs?
yeah.
The main guy for them, he passed away at the age of 85. Performed with them from 67 to 2023. Um, Paul Mario Day, original lead vocalist of Iron Maiden,
Hmm.
passed away at the age of 69. I do not believe he was inducted with them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, if I'm
Oh,
remembering
was
correctly.
Iron Maiden even inducted? I don't think so.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry, you're right. Wait, no, is Iron Maiden? Didn't they get in the back door?
No, I don't think so. Judas Priest was. I
Judas
don't.
Priest got in the back door. That's why I'm screwing it up. Sorry about that. Judas Priest got in the back door, not Iron Maiden. Yeah, Paul Mario Day passed away at the age of 69. Uh, David Kath from Rare Bird, but probably better known as keyboardist Viv Savage from This Is Spinal Tap, passed away at the age of 79.
I can't wait to see Spinal Tap too.
Really?
Well, yeah. What do you mean, really? It's coming out.
I know. I'm just surprised you. I mean, they're remaking everything. Happy Gilmore 2's out now, so I was just wondering.
Yeah, that's one thing I give a shit about.
Understood.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I'm looking forward to Happy Gilmore too. Well, it's already been out for 2 days, but like, yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
all right. Four-time Grammy winner. Hold on, I had this and then I lost it. Four-time Grammy winner. Hold on. Three-time Emmy winner. Sorry, there's four Emmys, three Oscars, and two Grammys, including Song of the Year, and member of the Songwriter Hall of Fame, Alan Bergman, whose wife wrote with his wife Marilyn. We did a couple years ago when she passed away. Passed away at the age of 95. Among these songs that he is best known for having done is "The Way We Were," Windmills of Your Mind, You Don't Bring Me Flowers, which is a song that Neil Diamond always said kept him out of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame forever. Um, and then did music for In the Heat of the Night, The Way We Were, It Might Be You, all sorts of stuff like that. But he passed away, as I said, at the age of 90, I'm sorry, 93. Let's get to a big name because I have a few
Two of
more.
those songs are really bad, but anyway.
I know, but he's the 70s, 60s and 70s were big on rewarding
Just
kind of
saying,
schlocky songs.
yeah.
So, also passing away, Conchetta Rosa Maria Francanero, better known as Connie Francis, passed away at the age of 87.
What?
Um, one of the top, one of the top charting female vocalists of the 50s and 60s, has sold over 100 million records in her career.
Mhm.
One of the best-selling music artists in history. Um, I'd say "Who's Sorry Now" is probably her biggest hit, would you say?
Yeah, no, I'd say that. Probably one of the biggest, if you want to like go in terms of actual chart success,
Hmm.
is one of the biggest snubs of the rock.
Absolutely. For Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at her. My God, I just went to her discography page and it is way too long to go through. I was trying to look for her biggest hits, but I'm like been scrolling for 15 seconds. I haven't even gotten to her singles yet.
Mhm.
There you go, singles. So yeah, "Who's Sorry Now?" Stupid Cupid, Fallen. Sorry, I'm sorry I made you cry. My Happiness went to number two. Oh, The Lipstick on Your Collar is a great song, by the way. Uh, Number five. Everybody's Somebody's Fool went to number one in 1960. It's a big song, but yeah, there's like Don't Break the Heart That Loves You. It went to number one in 62. Just, God, I'm looking at this. She's got to have 50 charting songs during her career.
Yeah,
Uh,
very much loved by the people who vote on notinhallfame.com for what it's
Yeah,
worth.
that seems like somebody they should have put in for like a Lifetime Achievement Excellence Award at some point.
Yeah, just somebody who also is forgotten.
Yeah,
But yeah,
sadly.
that was
But she was 87 years old. Last surviving member of Danny and the Juniors, who best known for their song At the Hop in 1957, and then
oh,
followed Rock and Roll is Here to Stay in 58. Frank Matthey passed away at the age of 85. So we are.
yeah. I just rewatched American Graffiti.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yeah. Just oh, it's just goddamn great. So like I got nothing here other
Fair
than
enough.
yeah.
They're a member of the Vocal Group Hall of Fame, member inducted to the Broadcast Pioneers of Philadelphia Hall of Fame, but they are not rock, and they'll never get the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But yeah, so
Probably not. Oh.
Danny died in 1983. David White, Joe Terranova died about a month apart in 2019, and now Frank's passed away in 2025. Um, Also passed away, Tommy McLean, passed away at the age of 85, who had a number 15 hit in 1966 with Sweet Dreams, not the one that Eurythmics did. Also was on Dick Clark's Caravan of the Stars, but he passed away at the age of 85. Mickey Ralphs, the founding member of both Mott the Hoople and Bad Company, passed
Yeah,
away.
that's a big one.
Yeah, he passed away at the age of 81.
Yeah.
Um, so guitar, mainly the guitarist, but he was only active from 64 to 2016. So other than that, he didn't have much of a career.
He's in the Rock Hall, right? No?
Is he with, because Bad Company just got in.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know
Mott's not in, but I would think that he would be
who
bad
was
company, no?
elected as a
Sorry, I
member.
didn't mean it's sort of like
No,
a
no, it's good. There's just so many. I just want to get through all of them. That's the
yeah.
only thing. Uh, so Bad Company. Yes, Ralph's is
Yeah,
somebody who was
that's what I
got
thought. Okay.
elected.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, so Ralph's is a member, so he would have been going in, but he passed away of a stroke at a care facility at the age of 81.
Okay.
So, um, uh, also passing away, Walter Scott of the Whispers uh, passed away at the age of 81. His brother Wallace is the only surviving member of that doo-wop group. Um, So yeah, as I said, he was 81 years old. From the Searchers, remember the Searchers?
Yeah, Needles and Pins, Australia.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the original vocalist Ron Woodbridge passed away. I don't have a date age for him, but they had hits with "Sweets for My Sweet Love Potion" #9, "Sugar and Spice," "Needles and Pins," "Don't Throw Your Love Away," "When You Walk in the Room," "What Have They Done to the Rain," "Goodbye," and "Goodbye, My Love." Um, So they Searchers were the second group from Liverpool to ever have a hit in the US. Can you name the first? Just kidding. Uh,
Wait, so hold on. I thought the Searchers were Aussies. No?
no. Mm-mm.
Oh fuck. Okay. Or ask me that again.
Can you name the first group from Liverpool, England, ever to have a hit in the United States? The Searchers were the second.
Well, I guess the Beatles, no?
Yes, the Beatles. That was a joke.
Okay, no. Sorry, I thought they were Aussies. Sorry.
No.
My bad to our Aussie friends, all two of you. But anyway.
Uh, we only got six more here,
Yeah.
including two big ones. Patty Drew, or actually born Ichirine Patricia Drew, had a pop singer and some brief success in the 60s with It's My Time and I've Known. She passed away at the age of 80. Um, do you remember Yarborough and Peoples with Don't
Nope.
Stop the Music?
Nope.
Well, Yarborough
Is
passed away at the
that
age
like
of
a bad movie?
Calvin Yarborough and Elisa Peoples. Calvin Yarborough died at the age of 71. They had a
I guess I
Stop
remember.
the Music, which was #1 on the R&B chart in 1981.
Wow.
So, uh, Lalo Schifrin One of a great guy from Argentina who I followed quite a bit. Uh, also, he also composed the theme for Mission Impossible, Mannix, as well as the scores to Cool Hand Luke, Bullet, Enter the Dragon, The Four Musketeers, Eagle Has Landed, Amityville Horror, and the Rush Hour trilogy. The composer of all that stuff, he passed away at the age of 93. Five-time Grammy Award winner, six nominations for Academy Awards and four for Emmys. Won an honorary Academy Award back in 2019. But he was 93 years old. Uh, Also, another huge name, the Jackie Robinson of classical music. Charles Burrell passed away at the age of 104. He
Hmm.
was the first African American to be a member of a major symphony,
Oh, wow.
the Denver Symphony, now called the Colorado Symphony. He joined the symphony in 1959. Um, so, yeah. So, was active as a musician from 1938 to 2021. So, all right, I'm going to do mine and then we'll do the biggest name, I think, for both of us coming up. One of my absolute heroes, born the same year as my dad, died at the age of 97. Thomas Andrew Lehrer, better known as Tom Lehrer, probably best known these days for the Elements song. You know, those antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and rhenium, nickel, neodymium, neptunium, germanium, and iron, mercurium, ruthenium, uranium, rubium, zirconium, lutetium, vanadium, lanthanum, osmium, astatine, uranium, and golden, protactinium, and indium, and gallium, and iodine, and thorium, and thulium, and thallium. I won't do the rest of it, but he did that. He did poisoning pigeons in the park. He did the masochism tango, which is hilarious, but one of the great satirists of all time, kind of the king of satire. Never married, never had any kids. Actually, a few years ago, said that he made enough money off of his music and released it all to the public.
Hmm.
So you can use any of his songs. It's all the public domain by his own thing. But he grew up in Manhattan's Upper East Side, um, lived in Cambridge, Massachusetts for a very, very long period of time. Um, just an absolutely brilliant man. He basically retired, I'd say like around 1990 or so. He'd come back here and there, but he always said that satire was dead the moment that Henry Kissinger won the Nobel Peace Prize. Um, he also may be apocryphally, I never know how to say that word, the inventor of the Jello shot. Um, when he was in the army, they had a party, but they weren't allowed to have any alcohol. So he and a buddy of his were messing around with little cups and using Jello as the way to hide the alcohol, as a probable deniability. And so they're having the party, and the sergeant came in. He said, "What's in the cups?" And he said, "Jello," and just looked out with his finger and drank it. He's like, "Okay, that's fine then." And from then on, they used Jello shots for that. Now, if anyone else had used it before that, we don't know. But the first confirmed use of the Jello shot was by Tom Lehrer when he was a member of the Army. So,
A lot of jokes I could do with a Jello shot, which
a
I'm
lot of jokes. But I mean, I don't absolutely one of my true heroes. And if you're not familiar, are you familiar with him at all, Kirk?
no, not until you sent me that.
Go down the rabbit hole. Listen to National Brotherhood Week. Listen to Werner von Braun. The New Math is one of my favorites. When you're old and gray, we'll all go together when we go, which is we're all going to die in nuclear holocaust. Um, they're all like they're all so good and dark humor for all of them. I just can't say enough about Tom Lehrer, absolute hero of mine, gone at the age of 97. And that leaves us with, I think, after all of these obituaries in this whole thing,
Hmm.
the biggest one for both of us, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
John Michael Osbourne, born December 3rd, 1948 in Marston Green, Warwickshire, England, passed away at the age of 76.
Yeah. Huge for me. Before we start like go in his biography, this is sort of like one of those ones where I'm like 6, 7 years older than you, and
It makes a difference here.
yeah, but it usually doesn't, right? But like for here, it does.
Absolutely does.
Yeah, so like I remember as a tween, whatever the fuck, hearing that in the playground, and it was Crazy Train.
Hmm.
Never heard that before. Like, holy crap, that was where I think a lot of us, I think a lot of tweens sort of like become enamored with music.
Hmm.
And that was huge. And I think we've talked about this before, where I've gone sort of like hearing something and then going backwards. And this is a perfect one. Hearing Ozzy as Crazy Train, what's the other one? So many. I'm blanking here. But and then going back and like learning about like Black Sabbath.
Hmm.
I'd never heard that before. So like I went backwards learning about Crazy Train and then like Black Sabbath at that point. It was the craziest thing at that point for me. And holy shit, it was so different than anything else I ever heard.
Hmm.
And I wonder for you, because I guess you've been 6 years older than me. Like, how was that for you?
So Ozzy, I mean, Crazy Train, of course. Black Sabbath was one of those things my brother was very into. As a matter of fact, if I go over there, I can find an 8 track of Black Sabbath's Master of Reality
Yeah,
that
yeah,
belonged
okay,
to
yeah, yeah.
my brother. Um, so I have his 8 tracks. I've been trying to give him back to him now for 15 years, and he's like says no, I don't need him. I also have a Black Sabbath mirror of his in my garage.
A mirror.
Uh, yeah, I should go get that.
Okay.
But so by the time I mean, I knew the songs and I mean, all the other stuff, but it was really my brother was into Black Sabbath and the Cult and God, was the other one? Like that sort of, I mean, Iron Maiden and things like that. But largely when I became aware of Ozzy outside of that was honestly the TV show. Right? And once he was on the TV show, then I'm like, oh yeah, he did all this other stuff. I went back and discovered it. I did see him live once. I
Really?
saw,
Okay.
yes, not knowing I was going to see him live back in 2010, before he moved out of Washington D.C. Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart had the rally to restore sanity and or fear in Washington
Okay.
D.C.
How'd that
And
work out?
I mean, I had a great time. I was dressed as Super Grover the entire time in a big costume.
Big
Um,
shock.
yeah. Um,
Just knowing what I know of you, but anyway, go on.
yeah. I mean, just look at the blue on me right now.
Yeah,
And I don't, there's a reason this blue in my background is just light and not, darker. It's more Grover colored. Um, Also, we didn't want to get too close to the flag all overall.
yeah. Moving on, but yeah.
Moving on. But so they were talking about it, everything going on, and they brought out it started with Cat Stevens, who had been banned from the country. It was his first time. He came out and played Peace Train. Uh,
Whoa. Okay.
so Cat Stevens came out and just played one song, Peace Train, but we didn't think Cat Stevens was even going to be there. I mean, never considered he'd be there because he'd been banned from the country
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and got back in. And as soon as Cat Stevens' Peace Train was over, all of a sudden Ozzy comes out and does Crazy Train back to back. And it was awesome. I mean, both of
That's
them were
crazy.
entirely awesome. It was so unexpected, and I was 4 blocks probably because there's so many people at that thing
Yeah.
from it. But even actually wasn't that far from it. I wasn't 4 blocks. I was probably about 100 yards at least away from where it was. 4 blocks is crazy when I'm thinking about it. It was 4 sidewalks, but it's about 100 yards. And yeah, it was just absolutely amazing. He was awesome. saluting the crowd and everything. One of like the coolest live things I've ever seen. So I would say my experience with Ozzy is a little bit different because I learned it through my youngest of my older brothers. He's born 14 years before I am, so almost 15 years. He was born in '64, so he was almost he was like just past 14 when I was born. Um, but yeah, I mean, just an absolute icon. And they remember last year, so not this last class, but the class before, he was elected as a solo artist into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And they basically said, hey guys, he's not going to be around that much longer. If you're going to elect him and you want him there, you got to do it this year. And they managed to get that done. Yeah, I mean, just if you're thinking of the most important, I mean, it's hard to say because it's so wide open. But if you did a list of the 100 most important people in music in the history of
He's there.
modern music,
Yeah.
he's on there. Where on that list you have him in the top 50, you have him 40 to 60, somewhere around there. Um, he, the Prince of Darkness is,
Mhm.
it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of amazing with everything that happened to him. Even made it to 76. Um,
Isn't it?
yeah.
No, no, totally, totally. Because like when you look at like how all the people who should have lived, him, Keith Richards is still alive.
Yep. Mick Jagger had his 82nd birthday the other day.
Well, yeah, but Mick Jagger was not that guy.
There was a picture I saw the other day of Keith Richards sitting on a bench with three like there's one kid to his right and two younger kids to his left, and it said Mick Jagger waiting for the rest of the Stones to grow up so they can start a band.
Well, like even we were talking like pro wrestling earlier, like
Ric Flair.
Hogan's gone, Ric Flair is alive, Jake
Hmm.
the Snake Roberts is still alive.
Hmm. Is Brutus the Barber Beefcake still alive?
Yes,
Yeah, like I told you, another guy from my town, sort of.
yeah. So it's just one of those weird things that sort of happened. Ozzy was a big person for a lot of us. He was a big person, I think, even if you were heavy metal, rock, pop, regular music. Fair?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And it's heartbreaking that he's gone. And I just want to like say this here. His wife,
Sharon.
Sharon, God bless you. Like you
Mhm.
might like her, you might not. The people watching, she saved him
Absolutely.
so many years and decades.
Absolutely. If without Sharon, again, regardless of what you think of her, her
Yeah.
plastic surgery, anything else, he would have been dead 30 years ago without Sharon.
As he said,
Yeah.
as he said. And it's one of those things where it's like, God bless her. God bless anyone who has a wife or a partner who loves you like that.
Hmm. Absolutely. And he loved her right back. Like absolutely
Absolutely.
knew it.
Yeah.
So,
So I
yeah,
just yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say just Godspeed to the Prince of Darkness
Mhm.
himself. So
Crazy train.
crazy train indeed.
Uh well, what else do we have here to finish off?
I don't have anything. I mean, I only gave you like 57 obituaries. What do you want from me?
Okay. All right. So wherever you are, wherever you may be, make today count because it never comes again.
Take care, guys.
Tally ho, everyone. We love you.